Hey guys, so this is today's Smart Money Sundays video. We're going to start off with the DAXI and what I'm looking on it, at least short term. So we were obviously and still are in a downtrend, right? So we've just been pushing down very steadily for quite some time now. But so here's the thing. If I mark off this level, which I obviously don't have it, mentioned here or on the screen beforehand. Sorry for the stuttering. So what it did was it barely took this low out and it came into what looks like 50%, right? So this is something I noticed earlier. So there's that 50% is right about here. So it met the 50% level, okay? And the thing with it now is, at least short term, I do think that it is going to go higher, because if you look at what we did, okay, we were trending down, and overall we still are trending down, right? If we mark off higher time frame swing points like we have in the past videos, it'd be something like this. But even these aren't overall pullbacks. None of these moves, this move, these aren't overall pullbacks. We could, go all the way down here and come up into, say, this region where we have all of this buying, right? Coming into here, we could still be bearish because this is just one very big leg. But what I'm focusing on now, because we trade, mainly throughout the week, we hold positions throughout the week. We don't really swing trade often. So what I'm looking at is this, okay? So this is pretty interesting. Breaking this down, right? We have moves like this. Here's one leg, right? One leg here. And then if I take it and, just kind of replicate it, this is the same size. And then this from here to here. Okay. So now look at this. We have, and this is it's not really a trick. I mean, it is a trick, but the fact of the matter is we look for patterns. And if you see a pattern in the wavelength, that's a pattern in the market. You should take advantage of that. Okay. So now look at this. Look at where we stopped. Look where this lines up, right? From here, we met inefficiency in the market. Here to the T, push down. Now we have selling volume here right before buying up that lines up perfectly with an equal sized pullback here that also lines up with a fib level. If I can go in and adjust this real quick, sorry guys. So if I go in and then add my fib levels back, okay, I'm just going to add 61.8, 61.8, 78, negative 61.8, and the negative 27.2. So as you can see, this lines up with a 61.71, and then the negative 27 lines up within here. But really what I'm looking to target is this here. So 50% of this buying volume before the selling, 50% marked off. Now look at what happens here. If I take this, boom, lines up almost perfectly with it, and it would be 3 drives. So 1, 2, 3, and then I think we could continue back down for there. But this is really lining up to come down to this level and go long. So that is what I'm looking for on the DAXI, and so that would mean dollar weakness to start the week, and then dollar strength. But that is what I'm looking at on the DAXI. And then on Euro USD, we came into a 4-hour candle, a selling volume before buying up, and with this movement down, we took so much liquidity, right? We had all this all the people placing orders here. Boom, boom, boom. What do you think people did when price got here? Buy up again, right? So now we have this selling volume that is trapped in the market that we have not come back down to. But we had this. We had selling volume here that we came back down to. We had selling volume here that we came back down to. And then this selling volume, we didn't come back down to until this last week. So this is the open of it, right? But we came more into the deeper part of it, if that makes sense. Like this is where it started, this is where it ended, and we came into about half of it, okay? So now if we look, we had this little bit of structure here, right? So we came into our level of interest, we reacted off of it, and then we broke structure. So we are looking for this to continue higher, and that wasn't a trade idea. That was just something that I was personally looking at and not planning on entering unless I get a lower time frame confirmation. But we are eyeing this level because, you know, we have inefficient pricing in the market here, right? We can see that the price is inefficient. We have some selling before the buying up. And like I said, we broke structure. And then again, it's the same kind of deal. If you look at what has been accounted for, we had selling trapped here that we came into, selling here that we came into. And now what do you think we need to do here? Need to come back down. And we have not yet, which is why we think we could see a push down and then a move up, at least into equal highs. We know that we like to target equal highs, right? So that's what we are kind of looking for on Euro USD. If we have any trades, they will be sent out to the VIP members. Not anywhere else. It's reserved for VIP, but that is what we are looking at on this pair. We do think that it does have room to the upside. We're ridiculously bullish. We just want to see it pull back to start off the week and then continue up, really just into higher prices in general. But this is looking really good. We are keeping a close eye on it, and yeah, we're monitoring it for a potential trade. So GBP USD, really the same kind of deal. We had this level that we discussed with VIP last week. We had right here. So here we had selling here, accounted for. And then even this, selling accounted for here, selling accounted for here, selling accounted for here. So what did we need to do to account for this selling? Well, we had to sell from here to here, right? So we're looking for a pullback down into this region, into discounted prices and inefficiencies in the market within this region. This is inefficient pricing, right? This whole candle, inefficient pricing. If we can pull back and continue long, that'd be great. Again, look at what we have. We have relatively equal highs that we should take out, and we took these equal lows here, came up and then broke this structure, and we should continue up, just coming down into here. And then, like I said, at least targeting equal highs, but we could go much higher on the higher time frames. So, I mean, that's a bit redundant, but we can go higher on the higher time frames, really into 1.4. To be honest, we do have some buying before a massive sell-off that I do think we need to come into and, I guess, fix. So that's what we're looking at on GU. It's kind of the same as EU. This is really just a huge imbalanced move here. I mean, that's just, look at this candle compared to all these. This is like almost as big as this move and this move and this move, right? So, and it took, not even a quarter of the time. So we'd like to see price become efficient again, and then not to mention the fact that people were buying all along this, right? People see this trend line, they're going to keep buying. Well, guess what's going to happen? It's going to come down, make people think it's going back up, take it out, and then continue long again. That's how it always happens, guys. Retail methods do not work. They just don't. And that is why we teach people smart money, is because smart money does work. And we've seen this type of thing happen countless times. Get stopped out of a trend line, right? And then you just watch it do exactly what you thought it would do. So anyway, that's what we're looking at on GU, really just looking for efficient pricing coming into a level of interest that we have. So moving on, Euro JPY. This one is a bit of a stretch. We don't have anything, I don't want to say pertinent because this is a really great setup, but it's just not coming back down. I don't think this is a bottom though. This doesn't really fit what a bottom of the market would look like. We had this equal lows. So, we create equal lows and then we move up. That doesn't make much sense. And then we had all of these equal lows here, about 3 of them. So we had all of these equal lows that we clearly swept with a single candle. There is one candle that took care of all of these and came into this selling here. You see this? Boom, take these, break structure. We have not accounted for this yet. Moreover, this is such a large candle, you can play off half of it, right? So, and really the reason why is there's just imbalance within this on the longer time frames. That's why you can do this, right? This. So equal lows, we have, this is all liquidity here that's going to get taken out, but I'd just be so surprised if it left these and continued higher. I don't want to see that, but it hasn't pulled back yet for some reason. It's unfortunate. However, I do think that we can come back down into here. This candle is just too obvious in a sense for price to not account for it. So that is what we were looking for on Euro JPY. Really just an overall pullback. Hopefully we don't get this run here. It'd be unfortunate, but we do have equal highs here, right here, that we can be targeting. So that is what we're looking at on Euro JPY. And then NZD USD, a bit shaky, but this was the example from last week. It really looked like we were going to get a great reaction, and we kind of did here. Here. As soon as it came down into this, where we took all of these equal lows, as soon as we came into this candle, it shot up, but then it came back down, and it's really, from a lower time frame perspective, what has been happening is you've generated, more equal lows on a smaller time frame, like boom, 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 boom. And then we take them, break structure, come back down into here, continue up again. So now the logical thing for price to do would be to come down really somewhere to here. It's just a general area. We don't have a trade on it yet, but we are looking at this, and with the future Wyckoff methods that we will be teaching you, there is actually a trade on the 3-minute chart that I had, and this was, and I remember this because I journaled it, something I encourage you all to do. Just a side note. So here, stop loss, and then TP this swing right here, 12 to 1 in no time really. So, but that's not an overview of the market in general. I'm just saying with what we are coming out with soon, we will be showing you guys how to catch entries like that, and that will be reserved for the people who join and learn and really understand. Understanding it is very important, guys. That's all I have to say. I'm going to continue on with the higher time frame analysis. So CAD JPY, we are ridiculously bullish. And this move here, it's a bit tricky, but if you look at it in terms of, just taking stop losses and equal lows, we had you know, these lows, and then we had all these lows, and we took them here, and then we made equal highs. So we kind of broke structure per se, came down and tested this region, and now we have not tested this. And on the 15-minute, I believe, is more clear. Yeah, here's the 15-minute candle. This is obviously just selling pressure in the market before buying back up, and we are now generating, you know, all these intermediate highs and lows that should get taken. I do think from the beginning of the week, we are going to take this and shoot, take all these, and then continue higher because we are extremely bullish higher time frame, and that is driving my bias. NUD JPY, smaller time frame play. Really, this is just an idea. It's not anything concrete, so do not take that as a trade. We really, what we have here is we just have the selling before the buying, and we are so bullish that it would, you know, you can just play with the momentum, guys. If don't miss opportunities because you want to wait for an overall pullback, play with the momentum. And the logic is, again, people buying off of this tiny trend line, right? People are buying. Well, guess what? Their stop losses are going to get taken. Sell it, and then to buy it back up, coming into a sell. They came into this sell. They came into these sells. It's a bit abstract, but if you look, you can see the pattern. Sell, come up, come back down. Selling, come up, come back down. Selling, come up. What do you think we're going to do? Come back down. So that's what we're looking at on AUD JPY, and I'm going to check what else I have. Euro NZD, this is a good level. So we have two more. So Euro NZD, what we had is we broke structure, came down and tested the last selling volume before the buying. It broke structure here, continued up, and then when we tested this, we sold it again. So what do you guys think we're going to do? Well, it would make sense to come into this selling here. It came into the selling here that, you know, took equal lows and lows in general before breaking structure. So selling and buying up, mitigated. Selling and buying up, not mitigated. So it would make sense to come down and mitigate this region of price, and we would also be taking these equal lows. CAD CHF, really just a manipulative move here. We had all of these lows being formed, and they all got swept with pretty much a single move within a few minutes. So manipulative move, clear on the 15-minute. You can see we have imbalanced markets here that we should come down and fix. And this also came into this selling here, like I said, taking out all of these lows. And now we are generating more lows that I do think we need to just sweep through one more time and then take to head up. And then we have relatively equal highs right here that should get taken out. So that is what we're looking at for this week, guys. None of the trades on here, like I said, are concrete. They're just ideas. Anything that you saw is not a signal. It is just what we're looking at in general, with a few obvious, you know, digressing comments where I just started talking about other important things like journaling trades and, yeah, just, you know, really learning this stuff. It's very important. So that's what we're looking at, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you guys all soon. Thank you for watching, as always.